The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
The Power Trading Hour. It doesn't matter where you're at, as long as you're here at the appointed time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have on today? Well, a whole lot of nothing and no volume. I'm having internet problems. So this would be a really good day to give me a call and let me know. But if you've got some kind of burning question that might take a little while, don't have any charts. Maybe that gets fixed in the next hour, but I don't think so. But give me a call, 877-927-6648 if you want to talk about something. I do have some stuff, so we could probably answer a question. The chart's just not going to look right. Not exactly sure what's going on, and of course, can't solve it. Started about 20 minutes ago, and I'll move on. Anyway, what do we have going on today? Well, we're down 11. Is that about right? 11 points. Let's see if that is right. Yeah, we're down 10 points on the S&P cash. It's not horrible, but probably the most interesting thing here is that we do have such incredibly light volume in the markets, but I got several things not working correctly. About 6.3 billion shares, which is not much. This is a fairly light Friday trading day. It could get nasty into the close, though. I had one position. I just sent out a update that I'm selling it, and I think I was maybe 20 cents to the positive on it on average, but not a lot of reasons. Not bad. It's just I'd rather go home and think about maybe a new position or maybe even the same one on Monday. But I'm not a big fan of taking any risks here. But does it look horrible? No. Could it get horrible before the end of the day? I think the answer is at least a coin flip. And homie, don't flip quarters for a living. So I'm going to Amscray Attenlay out. It's certainly not a loss, and see what else is going on out here. Anyway, like I said, we're down 11, 12 points. Never really could hold the highs, and of course on a Friday, not uncommon to see that, but there isn't a lot of volume, and I think that's telling us a little bit more, but I think we've got a few stragglers still getting out. Maybe some margin calls by the end of the day. But it's kind of tough to go home on a weekend where everything has been down and find a lot of people wanting to toss themselves on the hand grenade. Yeah, is there? Okay, thank you. Somebody said there are more internet issues out west also. But anyway, having data issues. But, that's about it. See what else do we have? This is normal stuff. What do I want to look at? I want to look at the TLT. 142.45. As I said, I'm thinking this could go to 139-ish next week. We're not that far away. So we can keep an eye on that. See if there's anything else I wanted to look at. Just a lot of stuff not doing much. But we'll look at it. Let's do a little history, and then maybe I'll have a phone call by then from one of you fine folks. But let's do history early.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1953, in the final State of the Union address before Congress, Harry Truman tells the world that the United States has developed and exploded a hydrogen bomb. This was the Edward Teller Stanislaw-Ulam device. And a lot of people say it was a bomb. It was a factory. This thing was built in a building. It was all done with gas. It wasn't done with anything that was solid. Very interesting. Of course, more than interesting was my dad was flying around in an airplane, filming and watching this when it got ready to go off. Of course, the whole idea was the Russians exploded their atomic bomb in 1949, surprising us all. And everybody thought, well, we better have a better bomb than the Ruskies. So they went to work on developing this new device. And of course, most people, I don't think a lot of people know too much about nuclear devices. I know a lot, probably more than I should for not being in the business, but I find it amazingly interesting. But of course, you need an atomic bomb to set off a nuclear fusion bomb. And there's the ideas that have gone into making weapons of mass destruction incredibly efficient is pretty amazing. The first bomb that went off over Hiroshima only fused about as much uranium as was about in a penny. The rest of the 60 pounds did almost nothing. And we saw the damage that actually happened there. But by the time 1953 rolls around, they got a much better idea of how everything starts to work. Everything's still pretty large, the size of a small truck that you have to bolt under an airplane to take and drop. Of course, we'd be working, and certainly the Russians working on missiles that would mean that planes weren't necessary. Anyway, Edward Teller wasn't a big fan of some of the folks that were kind of asleep at the wheel after the original bomb blew up. They all kind of got weak in the knees on what they built, a lot of the scientists, and some of them were right on the edge of treason. Edward said, you know what we need? We better have a bigger bomb than them if we want everything else to go right. And Stanislaw-Ulam is probably one of the most interesting people that worked all around the Manhattan Project and into this bomb. He was someone that left Hungary just before the start of the war. And of course, they would have chased him down and killed him. But maybe one of the smartest guys that ever lived, mathematicians. He figured it all out in his head. Didn't have any computers, calculators, anything. Just a piece of paper and a pencil. About how to make the biggest destructive power in the world. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
As we return, Mr. Internet problems persist. I don't have really any charts. I do have some quotes from another system, but they're only quotes, nothing for charts. Anyway, everything's showing up as $50. $600 stock, it's $50 today. $5 stock, $50 today. I don't know what's going on with those guys, but we'll find out. Anyway, question is NVIDIA going to 230, and what's going on with the ARMS Holdings deal? Well, you certainly have a gap at the 230 level on NVIDIA, but it's going to get there. I don't know. I have to tell you that the business is incredibly good for semiconductors in this space. And as far as business and what we know about it at the moment, Samsung came out with earnings this week on its memory division, and they've got absolutely blowout numbers for it. So I'm thinking when we, any time that kind of volume is up, it's hard to think NVIDIA or AMD or Micron could have a bad hair day. I didn't look at Micron. I'll take a quick look at that if I've got it. Okay, where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, it's off a buck, but it's not a bad deal. Anyway, I'd be hard pressed to say that Micron isn't probably going to outperform the rest of the semis. But at the same time, like I said, NVIDIA, AMD, with memory going as well as Samsung says it is, and actually it saved their bacon this quarter. It's pretty tough to figure out or come up with a scenario where these guys don't do good. Now, do they sell off with the rest of the market? Like I said, it's Friday, light volume. Kind of hard to get too excited about it. My thoughts, though, are more about just whether or not we get to the last 30 minutes and everybody decides to Amscray-Attenley. And we see, a weaker stock. Some of these stocks real light volume, probably should have closed back in their trading range. I had a couple of them that have broken through the lows. They did so in light volume. I've bought them. I sold the one, but it actually looks good, and it still looks good. And if the markets weren't so iffy, I'd be taking a look at it, holding it. But you know what? Just no real reason to do anything with that. Anyway, the other question on NVIDIA is the ARMS Holdings deal. If you're unfamiliar with this, ARMS Holdings is a company out of Britain. Instead of actually making anything, they make designs for chips. And it's used in a great deal of people's products. NVIDIA uses their designs, Apple, Microsoft. They give you kind of the rough outline of a chip, and they'll help you actually design your own special chip. But I don't think that there's a lot of reasons to believe that ARMS Holdings is going to be bought by NVIDIA. From the governments of both England and the United States, or the UK and the United States, they don't want it to happen. They don't want control of all that chip making ideas to go to Taiwan, where it could be invaded at any moment, and we'd have a whole lot of nothing other than Intel being the last holdout with any kind of technology on this side. Apple has more selfish interest in that they don't want to have to deal with NVIDIA. They don't like dealing or paying anybody for anything. They're kind of very much like Walmart in that vein, which is they'll screw over everybody. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. Your money is my money, and that's all there is to it. And Apple's got a real chip on its shoulder when buying somebody else's technology. Like, you know what? It's the status of just selling to Apple is, you shouldn't have to want to make any money. They really do have that kind of attitude. But they don't want anybody like NVIDIA that could control that design. And, of course, they've been developing their own product, Apple has, and they said, we've got our own M3 chip and Well, I'm going to say that they didn't develop it, that I'm going to say 95% of it all came from ARMS Holdings. And the last thing they want is anybody else that could actually raise prices on them or that they couldn't push around. And so there are a handful of companies like that are making a lot of hay over it. But there's two, the people in the UK think that all the jobs will move to Taiwan. So the insiders there don't like it. Like I said, national security folks don't like having any more chip design technology in Taiwan at the the sword of Damocles with China sitting over the top of their necks coming after it. So, Larry, I don't think it's happening. Apple has called in all its chits. That's a C. I forget how to spell it, but not what you thought it was. They're chits, which are kind of like IOUs, I guess. I've never had a chit. It's kind of like a grit. Didn't have a grit either. But anyway, didn't have a chit in Congress, and they've really leaned on everybody. But there's just a lot of people that have a lot of ideas that they don't want NVIDIA having any more power, don't want any more stuff going to Taiwan, where eventually is probably going to be under the thumb of the Chi-Coms. So not much else to say about it, I guess, other than that. They're holding it up in the EU, so I don't know if they're just going to hold it up until NVIDIA gives up, or if they're actually going to take a big rubber stamp out there and say, "Niet." But I don't think much is going on. Chitterlings, huh? I don't know what a chit is, but all I know is that my dad used to get chits that he could then buy stuff with when he was in Germany in the 50s. Remember they talked about that. Everything was on the black market back then. You have that. Question about the possible impact of the ruling today on vaccines and the vaccine industrial complex. Well, we'll try to talk about that when we return.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we return, question about Micron. Basically, the question is from Samuel. I talk a lot about new technology in the memory space. A lot of the new motherboards and new chips are using DDR5 memory, which is basically twice as fast as the old DDR4. DDR stands for dual data rate. Basically, they figured out how how to do rock and roll in chips for memory. But all computers have clocks. They're not the kind of clocks that you see on the wall, but it's kind of like being geared. Everything's all synced together. Anyway, on a regular clock cycle that was high, or depending on what you're looking at, 3 volts or 5 volts, normally you could read an address in memory. Well, they found out that they could wire it so that if it was high or low, they could read memory depending on which bank of memory in it. That's why when you see a PC, there's always at least 2 sticks of memory in the memory slots, almost always anyway, for that DDR memory, because it's reading one side and then it's reading the other. That's kind of a simplistic answer. But anyway, dual data rate. Anyway, the new memory and the new chips that have been out in the last 3 months or so will allow you to use these newer DDR5 rates, which literally are twice as fast at the lowest level and can be much faster than that, maybe 3 times as fast as DDR4 memory. Well, you can't get any of it anywhere. This stuff is selling as fast as they can make it, and that's why I suspect that you see companies like Micron or Samsung, well, certainly Samsung, because they said this week that they were how well they were doing. But that's kind of it. You can get it. Okay. Got a question in here about mean reversion strategies in the stock market. And someone asked me about some of the stuff, the algo tradings yesterday, too. And the big problem with them, since I've tested all of them, is that there's a thing in machine learning called regime change. And that is when something changes, we'll say like the Fed pulling money out. You don't know what you don't know and how it's going to work. You don't know exactly what they're going to do, although they're saying they're going to do things. Market's actually reacting like it is. But during those periods of time, you make a bunch of money, something changes, and you give it all back instantly. And that's generally the history of all these machine black box trading systems. For the most part, I think that the best use of computers is to lead you to the water, but you better look at that water and make sure you want to drink it. But there's almost always these things work for a little while, or they'll show you some data that shows how well they worked, and then you get clubbed over the head like a baby seal. So anyway, there's a couple of things, but they do it. And the first thing is that regime change. One of the other things is when patterns aren't exactly what you want to see them to be. And that is that you need something that's a little fuzzier. If you think 1 day down, 2 days higher, 1 day down is a pattern, is it any better or worse pattern than 1 day, 3 days up, and 1 day down? And the answer, for the most part, is not. And there are some ways around it, but most of them are called time warp distortions. But almost always when I see somebody, and I do look at these models that these guys have on for Robinhood and stuff, and yeah, these things are just, they're all great. It's kind of like flying in an airplane. You're flying real fast. That's not going to, you're going to have to eventually land. And if you don't know what you're doing, maybe you can hold it up in the air, but when you come down, there's going to be a price to pay. And none of these things, the biggest problem I'd say with them is that these folks have little or no trading experience. I would feel a lot better if they ever listened to anybody that had been in the markets for a while. I'm into 24 years now of full-time trading, so not as long as some, but longer than most. And I talked to a lot of these computer-based folks, and they just don't have a clue. I ask them to read Fooled by Randomness or Reminiscence of a Stock Operator so that they have any what is called domain knowledge. And these guys will argue to their death that whatever, they know it all. But the old saying is you don't know what you don't know, and these people almost to a T don't know what they don't know. Don't drink the water. No insurrection regime changes in the markets? No, don't think so. What do you think of VMware? What do you like in this space? Well, they are the best. The problem is that Michael Dell was more than likely giving them all the horrible debt and spinning them off. That's why they had such a horrible time once they split apart. But that's the problem, man. You may have to give VMware a couple of years. Great technology, but as a corporate entity, there may be so many dead bodies in the closet that when you open it up, you get crushed by them falling out. But Michael Dell came back to Dell to bring it back up, get it public, and start selling his shares again, because that's the only reason he came back. He left for a reason, came back for a reason, and that was that all his money went to pot, not actual marijuana, but I mean the stock went down to almost nothing. He's come back, build it back up. A lot of it, I suspect, is smoke and mirrors. And of course, if they could dump some bad debt on VMware, I would not be surprised. Like I said, I'd be walking by the cemetery and whistling. Great company, but that doesn't always mean great profits. I would be very careful with it for the next year or so until we see whether or not any of that stuff blows up. Because I know Michael Dell. Probably pulled the fast one. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Well, in an effort to fix the system, I just got an email during the break from Spectrum that you're going to be down for an hour or two, and they said it could happen anytime before 3. So I'll be on as long as I can, but probably just going to see everything drop at once, and I haven't fallen into a big pit of despair or any of the other stuff, but you've got a little bit of time. We'll see. I said 2:45. We'll see how close they are for it. But they said they'd be down for about an hour. So that probably puts an end to my trading day. But we shall see. Well, maybe you're real quick. 877-927-6648. One other question. Okay, we can answer this. Windows 11, should I actually upgrade my machine to Windows 11? I did that over the Christmas vacation. I would say one thing, though, and that is you should do a bare metal upgrade. I haven't had any real problems, but a lot of people I read before doing it did have problems for upgrading their Windows 10 to Windows 11. That means that you need to find out everything you use, the passwords, download all the installs, get it all ready, back up your system to a drive, and get some decent backup software to do it. But I needed to do it because I'm working with a program with my broker on that trusted platform module, so that they can know it's me and not have some rogue nut job come out and take over my account and spend my ill-gotten gains. So there is a level of security to it. Of course, it's built into Windows 11. You need to make sure that your motherboard will support a trusted platform. I had to wait 3 months for my module. I don't know how tough there are to get now, but did update it. But yeah, I think you need to make sure that you start from the get-go, and the first part of that is writing down everything you have, make sure that it's available, get a backup drive and get a very good backup of what you have now, install everything fresh. It took me the better part of about 7 hours to do it all, so I just did it all in one day when I was off. But certainly, if you're going to do anything and trading, you're much better off. There's always problems. Sometimes they're minor, sometimes they're bigger. But we're talking about dollars to spend a day upgrading all your machines. But make sure that your motherboard can use a trusted platform module before you go to Windows 11, or I would say there's no reason to do it. But like I said, a lot of security, especially what we've seen in the front pages of just about everything, would be exactly what you're looking for. And that is, it works smoothly. In fact, most everything in Windows 11 is just a cosmetic upgrade to it. The one thing that they do have that they added, and one of the big reasons why I went to it, is a thing called WSL. And that's being able to run Unix in a window in Windows. And, I've had other machines in here that you can do it. But there's occasionally when I'm doing some programming that you really need to be able to get to a Linux shell. And I can run Ubuntu directly on it. So for me, there's a lot more reasons than I think the average user would have. But I would expect that you want to start thinking about upgrading to that, getting your trusted platform module, because I think we're going to see a lot of the broker dealers start demanding this. And of course, especially we've seen how much money people were able to steal from Bitcoin and other kinds of cryptocurrency. You just got to think that that's something that would be that you'd want to think about. There is some better security out there, and everybody's chasing everybody around. What was it? How much money did they steal in cryptocurrency? Was it 120 billion or 1.2 billion? I can't remember how much it was the last couple of days. But that's kind of it. Let's see what else we have here. Do I have some more emails? I've got one more email.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Fun. Let's get back to these. We only got a couple minutes here before the break. I wanted to share all of these because these are very, very important things, folks, as far as, why markets react the way they do. We have a situation in these markets that is very rare, and that is we have not had a lot of bullish. This is the understatement of the year. The open interest in the S&P up and through July was about 3.2 million contracts. We're now 1 million contracts under that, folks, in the largest bull market that we've ever had. This has been a market which is showing lack of participation on the futures side of the market. We're seeing a lot of participation on the ETF side, but not in the futures side. And that is a very troubling thing because that's illiquidity. There's a lot of people, remember, most of the money in the stock market in the last year was equal to the other 10 years combined. What happens when these people want to try to get out? That door is not going to be very wide open, folks. You remember, we'll take a break here. 877-927-6648.
skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, we're having a good rally here. It looks like the old Supreme Court must have did something with the old, whatever they're doing with the vaccination stuff. Who knows? It's just another factor that you have to consider if you're a fundamentalist. Remember, folks, we've got some really good programming coming up next. We got TD Ameritrade coming up. Then we also have Thinkorswim. We have Steve Rhodes. And then we also have David White and Tommy O'Brien. We'll wrap it up at 3 p.m. And then next week, we're going to have some nice guests starting out with Mr. Shane Smolian, thewolftrader.com will be our guest on Monday. I got somebody on Tuesday, but by golly, the old cowboy can't find out what it is. But on Thursday, I'm sure we have Norm Winsky will be our guest. Those of you that are in the gold market, we're waiting for a buy down there at 1769, 1770. We're trading around 1792 right now, so be patient on that. There'll be some really good videos coming out this weekend discussing some of these markets and where we might be going. So this will be another factor that you want to be doing, watching these things. But remember, we're going to be seeing greater volatility, folks, both up and down. Look at this. We've had a 200-point move in the stock market since I've been on the air, 220 points, basically straight up. The S&Ps have gone from, 84, let's call that, oh, my goodness, from 54. They've had 34 handles since I've been on the air. That's one heck of a move. So these are not, what do we call, times where you don't want to leave your guards down, that's for sure. let's remind us that. I can't post that chart because I have to change the scale, and by the time I change the scale, I would not be able to do anything with it. So there's absolutely nothing that I can do about that. So let's remind ourselves it's quite important to pay attention to that. Okay. Let's see what else. Those are about basically it, boys and girls. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. Live every day, of course, to try to help your neighbors. There's so many of them that are having a lot of trouble, and don't go long the bond market for a while. We still got more to go to the downside, and this volatility is here to stay. And that's all I can say. May God bless. We'll see you on Monday on the flip side.